Dark and Darker has 7 playable classes: Fighter, Barbarian, Rogue, Ranger, Wizard, Cleric, and the newest class, Bard, with Warlock coming soon. All of these classes are from Dungeons & Dragons, so we are sure to see the rest of these classes like Paladin, Druid, and the rest of the cast. But what happens after they release all of these classes? In this video, I want to go over some classes I think would be amazing in Dark and Darker. So let's get started. The first class that would fit perfectly in Dark and Darker, whether it's a fully playable class or just a subclass, is the Witch. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of a witch? A broom, a cauldron, potions, witchcraft? Imagine if the witch had a skill where they could put down a cauldron and you get 3 random potions, or if you had existing potions, you could upgrade them at the cauldron to the next tier. We could see new magical weapons like a wand or a broomstick. Witches would be able to use curses which would debuff enemies, or it could even give teammates huge buffs, but at a cost of a huge debuff. Like they could deal extra damage, but they could also take extra damage. There's a ton of ideas you could do with spellcasters for Dark and Darker, and that's why I think Witch has so much potential. The second class I would love to see in Dark and Darker would be a pirate class. There would be many new weapons they could introduce, like a blunderbuss, a cutlass, or even a musket. Pirates could have new throwables where they could throw bombs or smoke bombs. They could have perks that deal with loot and chest. For example, they could take Bard's perk, Wanderer's Luck, which increases the chance of finding high quality items when opening treasure chests, and put it on Pirate since it would fit a lot more. But mostly I want a Pirate class because of the possibility of getting weapons like a blunderbuss or a musket, which would give Dark and Darker more variety with an FPS element. Now, Bard was kind of a meme in the latest playtest, so that sparked the idea, why not create a meme class in Dark and Darker? Which leads me to the next character I want to see, which is a Jester. I imagine this class being very annoying to play against. The Jester could send out clones of himself, similar to Mirage from Apex. Since Jester are all about tricks, they should be able to know how to counter them. So maybe they could have a perk to counter Rogue's invisibility. They could also have a perk where they do extra damage with non-weapons, like the pickaxe or the torch. I think there's a ton of fun and annoying skills you can create with Jester, which would make some very memorable moments. Now the next character I want to see in Dark and Darker is an Engineer class. Engineers would be really good for new players because they could have a perk where they can't set off traps. They could also install traps in different places like walls, floors, or maybe even inside chests. It would be interesting if they could put locks on doors, which would make opening doors take a lot longer. I think Engineer would be a very good class to introduce because it would be very simple to play, which would be great for newer players. The final class I want added is a Samurai. I want to see weapons like a katana or a naginata. I would love to see a skill where they can parry and riposte, similar with the longsword, but it has a timed window instead, similar to Mordhau. The Samurai could have different stances, like in Ghost of Tsushima, where each stance has its pros and cons. We could even see samurais using magic with different kinds of jutsus. There's tons of amazing weapons and gameplay features that could be introduced with Samurai, which is why I want Samurai the most in Dark and Darker. And those are the 5 classes I would love to see in Dark and Darker. Let me know if you guys think these classes would be amazing in Dark and Darker, or really bad. And also, let me know what classes you guys would like to see in the future. I'll see you guys next time.